you're going to be working and you're going to do so much shit work and you're going to do so much work for free. It's not going to be that's what it is. And you're going to keep doing stuff for free. And you're going to keep doing things that end up being minimum wage because of how many hours you put in. And that's still not going to be enough. But you have to like it enough to be able to survive in this industry. And if right now you can't even put in the work because you feel so entitled that you deserve to be paid and you deserve to only do the work if someone pays you, that you're not going to survive in this industry.
Yeah.
Ooh, he did not want to hear that. Oh no, he did not.
We are the
Get Reelisms Podcast.
I am Adam Chase Rani.
And I am Christine Chen. And surprise, we're both filmmakers.
We get into it by sharing secrets, advice, and gossip in filmmaking.
We even get our other filmmaking friends to share theirs too.
So please, everybody, join us for
Ode
to
Filmmake.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yay, we did it.
We did it. Ladies
Oh my
and
God.
gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around for another great episode of the Get Reelisms Podcast. Episode 180. We've done a full 180 episodes. My name is Adam Chase Rani.
And my name is still Christine Chen.
Unbelievable. We're back. They said we weren't going to come back, Christine. And yet we're here to prove them wrong again. That's right.
That's crazy.
Everyone's been saying that on the internet. All right. So what's been new, Christine?
I'm amazed that we've been doing this podcast for 5 years. That's what you said, right? 5 years? That's pretty.
5 years.
That's not bad. Being able to do something for 5 years consistently is still pretty cool. It's neat because I've been going back and visiting. I have many podcasters that I go and listen to regularly.
Yeah.
Jay Shetty, Alex Ermozy. I listen to nerdy, usually business podcasts. There's a Diary of a CEO, Mel Robbins. Anyways, some of them recently have put out podcasts about like when they first started. And it's really inspiring to go and look at that because you see them in their like very similar setup where it's like them in their room. And they're like, yeah, we used to do podcasts by ourselves or nobody listened to us. And now they're like broadcasting to millions of people in the world. And it's really nifty. So remember this. Remember when we're here broadcasting to nobody.
That's true. And we're still holding out strong, baby.
And we're still here. 5 years strong, guys. 5 years strong. And we're still going at it. It's because this is our public therapy session, actually. Without this, we wouldn't be able to continue in the film industry.
You know what's funny too is that like when we first started, I honestly thought it was just going to begin and end with the fun employment stuff. Sure. That was it. And then COVID happened. Actually, like, shout out to COVID
shout out to COVID who made us keep going with our podcast.
Finally, COVID's good for one thing. It's starting the Get Reelisms podcast.
It started many podcasts, actually, but the thing is, many podcasts died after COVID, but ours kept going.
But we're still here, baby. 180 episodes.
We're still here.
So my stuff that I've been working on is not that interesting. So we're gonna skip myself and go to you with what's going on. My camera's not focused, so I'm gonna try to fix that.
You've been working though. That's good. Work is work, dude. Work is work.
But it's not fun work. It's more so like keeping the lights on.
Sometimes work is just work, and it's okay that work is work. There's no shame that work is work because not all work can be fun. I think that's the reality. And I think a lot of people need to have that reality check. I teach students. That's one of my jobs, that side hustles that I have had to pick up since the industry has been on this weird, I don't know what you call it, decline.
Timey-wimey roller coaster.
So I teach editing students and I teach filmmaking students and teach piano as well. But it's always very funny because I talk to these students and they're in this one program that I teach, one of the things that they have to learn is interfacing with clients. and they get so mad because they're like, oh, clients are never happy and they never know what they want and it's not fair. They're not paying us and we're doing all this work. And I'm like, welcome to reality, guys.
Yeah. They don't want to do shit. You're
I was
right.
like, welcome to reality. And I had this one student that I might have given them too big of a dose of reality and they totally went off they were very angry with me. And I don't know, I give it straight. I shoot it straight. But I was like, dude, I was like, you're going to be working and you're going to do so much shit work and you're going to do so much work for free. It's not going to be that's what it is. And you're going to keep doing stuff for free. And you're going to keep doing things that end up being minimum wage because of how many hours you put in. And that's still not going to be enough. But you still have to like it enough to be able to survive in this industry. And if right now you can't even put in the work because you feel so entitled that you deserve to be paid and you deserve to only do the work if someone pays you, that you're not going to survive in this industry.
Yeah.
Ooh, he
That's
did not want to hear that. Oh no, he did not. Yes.
but you see, and that's the problem though, right? Is that like somebody like that would need to be receptive to heavy dose. That's not even a heavy dose. It's just what reality is.
It's reality.
This is just what it is. This isn't, oh, this is the
I know.
tough pull them from your bootstraps kind of thing. It's no, this is what adults do.
That's life.
We struggle.
That's just life.
Life is struggle,
It's the
baby.
struggle.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's hustle and struggling.
It's
Welcome.
hustle and struggle.
And that's I think I have a running theory about that. And I think that's because
Tell
I'm
me.
used to that shit. I'm used to people like yelling at me in general. I don't
Yeah.
really get butthurt. I get butthurt if it's mean-spirited, directed towards me. That's when I'm like, okay, easy, Jesus. Like, I'm a very sensitive boy. But I realize that like people who are tough like that, like you are, Christine, come from immigrant parents. I think that's just what it is. Because
We've
like
been just yelled at our whole lives. So.
yeah. And I don't realize that I get yelled at until like I hang out with other friends and their parents and they're very nice to their children. I'm like, I have never gotten that. I love my parents. I love my dad. I love my family. They get angry sometimes, but I don't think much about it. And it's just funny that you said that like people have a hard time receiving shit because it's like, I don't think everybody's been coddled, but there's been a lot of people who are
There's been a lot of coddling.
There's just a lot of people who just are sensitive to that kind of thing. And I think of myself as sensitive, but like when shit like that, when it's criticism, like I might be like upset in the moment, but it's probably something I need to hear eventually. And I eventually come around to it. You know what I mean? But it's just, I don't know. It's funny. The time that we're living in, I know it's the most sensitive time for everyone's lives right now, but this is part of the like, problem is that like instead of understanding that we're seeing the line drawn in the sand, we can at least express criticism to each other, knowing that we are only empowering ourselves to really make sure that like people do better because we feel the country can do better. So if it works and you give some wise old tale to a young struggling boy, fucking let him hear it.
Yes.
As the old saying goes, the children yearn for the minds.
Yeah. But no, let's hear what has been new. It's been a while. It's weird because it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but October.
Oh, it's been a while.
October has gone by quite fast. And I'm trying to.
Yeah, and I just turned 21 or 21. I wish. Oh my God. Can you imagine? 31. I turned 31 2 days ago. So yeah, time does fly.
Yay. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Why are you so young?
Why am I so young? Yeah, tell that to my doctor.
Man, damn, you're so young.
Yeah.
Your whole life is so much in
my
front
knees
of
pop
you.
a lot though. I'm not gonna lie. And I can't slam Taco Bell the way that I usually do. I used to eat a taco 12-pack.
I thought maybe you were like 35, maybe minimum.
No, 30, 31.
Man,
I do look
31,
old though.
dude.
People do think I'm in my mid 40s. I'm not lying.
Man.
There are people who think like when I was in high school, there were like kids that wouldn't talk to me because they thought I was a cop.
It's the facial hair, I think. Facial
It's
hair always makes.
yeah. Oh, sure, for sure. I had like a goatee in high school
You had
that
a
I thought
goatee.
was fucking awesome. But because I couldn't grow hair here, like where I have hair here, like I can only grow it here. It was like only patchy. So I only grew the
Wow.
goatee and I was like, I'm fucking sick, dude.
Wow.
I'm awesome, dude. And it
Wow.
wasn't
I wanna see
awesome.
these pictures. Can
Oh
you
yeah.
I would love to see these pictures. Do you have
Uh
high school pictures of yourself?
actually, yeah, hold on. Let me grab one. Give me a second. I think I have one lying around here.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So for those who are listening, who don't know how Adam and I met, Adam came to me because he was actually one of my students. He came through also a program. He didn't know anything about film, so he took the initiative to come and
Goodness
mentor under
gracious.
me. And it's crazy. And now he's my co-host. And what was really cool is that when he came to mentor under me, I had just finished not too long ago a feature film that I was planning to never show anybody, basically, because I had already moved on mentally and emotionally from it. And when I was talking to him about all the shit that went wrong on it, because that's what happens when you do your first feature film on
Yep.
anything and you don't know anything, he told me, "Hey, like what you just told me of what you went through is actually extremely interesting and educational and something that a filmmaker, any filmmaker, anybody who wants to make a film would be interested in." And I never it changed my mindset about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess that is the most valuable part, is the lessons learned from making my first shitty feature film." So then we started a podcast that was originally called the Fun Employment Podcast, because my feature film was
And
called
then the
Fun
cease and
Employment,
desist happened.
and we got a cease and desist letter, which I'm actually quite proud of.
That is
Very
sick.
proud.
I'm
I'm
not gonna
very
lie.
proud of it.
It's
Yes, I'm
pretty
very
cool.
proud of it because that means we were successful enough to get a cease and desist letter.
We were
Because
known
apparently
as.
there's another podcast called the Fun Employment Radio, and
Yeah,
it was confusing their listeners because Fun Employee Podcast, Fun Employment Radio. I get it; it's a slightly
of course.
close enough, so like it was pulling people
And
to the
Get
Fun
Realisms
Employment
is better for
Podcast.
the brand.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
were like, what are we going to do? And so I was a really quick pivot for me because
Yeah.
at that point I had just released Get Realisms, our book, and I'm like, hey, this actually works. We'll just rebrand that as a season in itself as Fun Employment, and then we'll rebrand the podcast as Get Realisms, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
But that's
It
kind of
was
what
one of
happened.
those ideas that like we had because we did do the podcast. It was like a preliminary podcast set of podcasts. Like we had the couch thing, the
That was
couch
really
viewing.
fun.
That was
It was
super
neat because I
fun.
was living in Austin still. I was renting a house, so I had an
Yeah.
actual space. We were all together,
Yeah.
and so I basically repurposed my living room.
Yeah.
It was like,
And we talked, every podcast we
yeah,
talked to every single actor. Like we even called Matthew Broussard too.
it was very fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
because in Texas, where the cost of living is significantly lower and more appropriate,
Not
and
anymore,
people
but yeah.
still in
It's
comparison
still
to
lower.
Los Angeles,
It's true.
a house is what you would probably pay for a
Oh yeah.
tiny
Just
ass apartment
absolutely.
here. And so I had a lot of space, and we converted basically the living room to a podcast studio. And it was pretty awesome. Like, yeah. So we had the whole backdrop, we had these chairs in there, and then it was all in person. So that was super fun. And then then the pandemic hit, and we're like, okay, we have to shelter in place. So then that's what converted our podcast to a virtual podcast, and we kept going. And that's our second season was shelter in place because of that. And that was a nice transition to our virtual version of the podcast, which is what has kept us going because now I no longer live in Austin, and now we have been doing everything virtually and have still been able to keep it going. So that's pretty fun
Yeah.
to think about how that all has gone and everything. But you were going to show us your super non creepy high school photo
It's
of you with
so
a
it's
goatee?
funny because I thought I had a bigger goatee than I thought
Okay.
originally, and it certainly wasn't. But what this is what I
That's
like.
not really bad. I was
It's
thinking almost like Backstreet Boys, but this is not.
no,
You have barely any facial hair. So
it's like
for
right
those
there.
who can't see, he doesn't really have a goatee. Goatee is not even. Yeah, it's like lightly sprinkled facial hair that looks like it belongs to a
Oh
prepubescent
yeah.
boy.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure. My voice was cracking during this photo. Like
I was envisioning Backstreet Boys
oh yeah.
goatee.
No.
That was what I
No, no,
okay.
no.
Never
I
mind. Well, I'm
wish
glad
though.
I checked you on that.
I
So
wished. I wish I had the Backstreet Boys goatee, but it was just going to be impossible. And I knew that too because like I tried growing out the sides. I was on a play. It was a
Oh.
Peter Pan play. It was the first time
Oh.
I actually got like a taste of production. It was in senior year of high school. And it
Uh-huh.
was
Were
sort of
you?
I was just a pirate. I was working with the Captain Hook,
Yeah.
being one of those deck scrubbers or whatever the fuck. And I was in this school play.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those moments where I got a taste of what acting was.
Yeah.
And boy,
You
do
were
I
a
hate it.
pirate?
I was a pirate. And
Heck yeah.
I had one speaking like,
Do you remember the line?
no, because they cut it.
Oh no. How do you cut a line in a play though? Because it's live.
Because for me with the blocking and me to deliver it was taking way too long for the director, and he didn't like
Uh-huh.
how I was delivering it. So he was like, yeah, we're just going to cut it. And that was basically the end of my acting career.
How is that possible though? So like before the day of the performance, they were like,
Yeah,
you're
so
just not gonna
sometimes
be in
like
it?
no, I am in it. There's like dance numbers and stuff like that I was a part of, and I was
Mhm.
like I was part of, you know,
The ensemble.
the ensemble, but I was like in the
Okay.
background making like expressions
it.
and
Okay.
reacting and shit.
Okay, cool. So
You know
you
what I
were in
mean?
all the I see.
Yeah, so I
They
was
just
in the
didn't give you
scenes,
the
just
line.
background. Yeah.
Got it.
So
Oh, that's so sad.
yeah, no, I have a tendency to do. I also was in a play in 5th grade called Aladdin.
Oh,
And
were
I
you?
had one. I was a prince. They changed up the story where instead of Princess Jasmine, just seeing like one prince or something like that, there's
You
like
were
a whole
there was another prince?
suitable row of bachelors, and I was like one of those
Okay.
bachelor princes.
Okay.
Named Ali Baba, which is not racist at all. So I played a prince, and I had one line, and I fucked up the line first
Oh
night,
my god.
opening night,
Oh my
opening
gosh.
night. And it was recorded too. My mom has
Oh,
a DVD.
no.
Yeah, it's all
Your
recorded.
mom has it on DVD.
My mom has it on DVD. This was early 2000s or mid
Oh,
2000s, I think.
it's so sad.
Yeah, and I fucked up the line like royally.
What'd you say? Do you remember what you said?
I don't remember because I just literally blocked that out. I
Blanked
was
out.
I was so embarrassed. I was like,
Oh.
I was because I thought I could become like such a great actor, but I can't remember lines at all. And it's hard for me to recite shit. When if somebody says, "Hey, say this line," it's almost impossible for me to say it word for word. I'm a listener. I'm a good listener. It's just
But
when I'm
that's the thing
reciting.
though, like it's okay to not say things word for word sometimes. You just have to be a good listener. And then I think acting is more about being a good listener than being able to recite something word for word. I feel like people who worry about saying something word for word actually end up not being the best actors because they're so concerned about the words rather than being able to react to their acting partner. At least
Yeah.
that's from a director standpoint. I find that the best actors are the ones. If I love watching, I spend lots of time watching where they do on Instagram where they scroll what the script was and then the actual performance of what it ended up being, like from the movie.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
you'll always notice Leonardo DiCaprio never follows the lines. It's always completely
Really? Oh, I
different.
actually didn't know that.
Yeah. Like in Wolf of Wall Street, there's this one section where he like says like two of the lines and then the rest are completely different and then he returns back to them like a whole paragraph later. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Really?
it's amazing. But that's what I'm saying. I think the best
Uh,
actors just go with their gut because they're that person. And so you just get the gist. As long as you get the gist, obviously this is dependent on the director because I know there's certain directors like Tarantino that are very strict with the written word because to them their written word is there's a reason why they wrote it that way. But like for a lot of people like myself, for example, I never felt like I was much of a writer anyway. So I believe that the writing is more of a guideline to guide the actors who know the character better than me at a
Yeah.
certain point, that as long as they get the gist of what the scene is about, I love when actors go and improv and play and bring another part of themselves as that character beyond what I could have imagined for that scene. I
When
think
you
that's the
originally
fun
wrote
of
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that to me is the magic of the scene. So you should if I find something, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But it's so fun watching. Oh yeah, it was Wolf of Wall Street. I
Mhm.
remember it was a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio he's on a yacht, and the FBI agent or some
Yeah.
CIA, yeah, comes on the yacht and is basically calling him out
That was
for
all improvised?
it.
Or it
So
was
yeah,
like
he
made up?
a lot of it was. So he comes
Wow.
to his yacht to basically have him is testing him, and he basically flat out almost bribes him,
Right.
tries to bribe him, and he's like, "You just bribed me." He's, "Oh, I never said," and it's like half of that shit was improv. It was
Wow.
amazing. And then I also heard that the "Sell Me This Pen" was also improv as well. Is that amazing? Just
I did not know that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. "Sell Me This Pen" was also improv. I thought that was
I
just
just
wild.
wow. Because I watched so many Scorsese films, I just always figured that Scorsese is very like by the book.
Yeah.
Like he wants the word for word. Wow.
For
I'm sure
real.
like you can't just diverge completely off fucking script. Like you have to
No, it wasn't
rope
the
it
content
in.
of it was very much
Yeah.
on par, and he does many lines later, he does return back to
Right.
what it says, but it definitely you can see that it definitely veers off in a completely different
Yeah.
direction on the same subject line, but it definitely was not word for word at all. I see a
That's incredible.
comment. Can you read it? I can't read it from where I'm because I'm
Comment on Instagram?
yeah.
No, there's no comment on Instagram.
Okay, cool, cool. It's
Yeah.
just watching on the video. Okay, cool,
Yeah, it's
cool.
just people joining and
I
chilling.
need stronger prescriptions, I think.
Dude, so I'm noticing like I'm rubbing my eyes way more than I should be, and I think I'm losing my
Oh no,
vision.
we're all
dude.
getting old.
We're getting old, dude.
Can
There's
you
been
imagine we're like in our 60s and we're like, all right, guys, here's the Get Reelisms podcast.
welcome to. Do y'all remember COVID? That's why we began this podcast. God, I
Hey,
can't wait.
I can't wait. I can't. We're gonna be
Ideally,
so
if we
cool.
were going to be that old, we better be fucking in the same room recording because like this I love StreamYard. I love the fact that we can do virtual. It just ain't the fucking same. It
I
ain't
know.
the same when we're all together.
If we're at that age, we better have our own podcast studio, and it better look
Absolutely.
cool. And somebody else should be helping us with recording
At the
stuff,
at
so
the
that we're
retirement
not.
home we're gonna go to.
Oh my god, no, not as no.
No, that's
I
expensive
will
actually.
not be in
I
a
don't think we'll be able to
retirement home.
afford that.
No, that will be like when I'm like 100 or something.
Where you just drooling and you
Oh.
can't do anything.
Yeah, because the segue, one of the things that I did get to do in October was I filmed on the Midway, USS Midway,
Mm.
and which I got to interview some World War II vets. And on
Cool.
average, they were like 102 years old. The oldest
Wow.
one was 104, and the youngest one was 99. And it was amazing.
Young.
And they're all like, "Oh, when I was 16, I shot down like a fighter plane." I'm like, "What? You were 16?
Yeah.
What was I doing when I was 16? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ."
Kids, 16-year-olds right now are watching like what, Skibbity Toilet and
I
you know,
know.
going on TikTok doing TikTok dances.
I know.
Meanwhile,
And
that dude is like
why-
shooting down airplanes.
I know. And that is why they all look at us like we're all fuck ups. This is why.
We're very sensitive people.
know.
Yeah, what can you do? I guess.
It's pretty, but it was amazing. And then our DP, because I just saw him 2 days ago because we were back on the Midway again a few days ago on Friday actually, so that was a few days ago,
Yeah.
shooting an event there for Halloween actually. And he said that he did some research and that some of those that we were very lucky to have interviewed some of the vets because some of them had shot down, like, apparently one of the guys that we'd interviewed shot down like 6 Russian planes. And even though that
Oh God.
he himself had gotten shot, his plane was shot, but somehow miraculously he was able to land on the midway, like, fine, despite being it's like they were all
So
badasses,
basically near
basically.
death experiences.
Yeah, they're all badasses.
In every turn.
And
That's crazy.
yeah, and it was just cool that we got to talk to them, interview, and they're all like super very I'm like, I want to be like that when I'm 105 years old.
Oh, like they were coherent, like they were able to articulate
Yeah, super sharp.
sentences. Wow.
Yeah, definitely still flirting. Yeah.
listen. It was a different time. They're gonna do some flirtations.
It was cute.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah, very sweet. But they're 16. It was amazing.
That's
So,
incredible.
Yeah, so that was one of the things I did, was I did that. And then I'm like, what happened in October? I feel like it
Went by. Oh yeah.
went by really fast. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I've been in post a lot of
Okay.
editing. Yeah. Um there's a short film that I finished editing that will be coming out soon. So that was shot at the beginning of last month, called Beneath the Surface. It was a 2-day shoot in Encino, not Encino, that's where it close. Escondido, which is near San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And then finally re-edited the spec commercial that was lost because my drives and computer were stolen.
Oh,
So,
right.
yes. So that's almost done. And then closed out our University of Texas client. So that was a big one.
Yeah.
Yay. And yeah, so a lot of posts, and I'm actually prepping right now for another project in November. So November will be, but November, the crazy thing is, it is a stable film job, which I actually messaged Roxy about and was like, I never thought those words would be in the sentence.
Especially in November too.
Stable film job.
That is.
Stable film. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah. Stable. It's very contradictory. Yeah. It is.
Extremely contradictory, but it's almost like a 9 to 5, because it's a
Oh.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So because the studio, it's all on a stage. I know. So the whole thing is built
You
on
get to go home
stage
at night like humans.
Yeah. It's because everything's built on the stage, and the stage is only open right at 6 a.m. and we all have to get the fuck out at 6 p.m. Like, nobody on the property at 6 p.m. So they can't hold us over unless they want to pay a lot of shit ton of money.
So it's a wrap out at 6, no questions.
It's a gone at 6. So that means tail lights at 6. So that means
basically. So it's wrap at
stop
5.
shooting at 5.
Yeah,
exactly. So I know what time we're leaving every single day.
Amazing.
What time, and then it's only 30 some minutes from where I live, against traffic, which is amazing again. And then
Beautiful.
I know.
I could cry
through
for
Friday, you. I know. I'm like crying. Monday through Friday inside. And then weekends off. I'm like, I'm in a corporate film job. I was like, I messaged Roxy first. So I was like, I never thought this was possible. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with myself?
Now, here's the thing.
Weird.
Don't get too comfortable, because
I know.
you're still going to need to write and direct some shit. So,
I know, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's funny because when I was interviewing for this gig, it was definitely a very nice first-time director, but because you're a first-time director, everything you're stressed out about everything, because you don't know how anything will go. And I read the script and I was like, okay. And then they told me, oh, everything's on a soundstage. And I was like, wow, it's going to be so easy. We're great.
Wow.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
No location moves.
I was like, so we're fine.
Yeah.
Because we're not dealing with the sun.
No.
Or the elements. There are no children in here. We're not doing. I was like, you don't understand.
It's not in public.
Like,
yeah.
I'm used to 5 or 6 location moves in the woods. COVID, the 2 tornadoes, 1 hurricane, like, but still having to do like a 12-hour day somehow.
Volcano eruption, shatter of the earth's crack. Yeah. A meteorite. We have to work around
Yeah.
meteorites.
Yeah, so this is great. We're smooth sailing. Everything is gonna be fine.
But she is not lying, y'all. When we say, like, when she says she worked against the elements, she works against the elements
I know.
all the time. Me too, but like Christine
work.
makes it work as a first AD. Like, first AD is arguably like the toughest, most pain-inducing position in production. Christine is like a fish to water in that position, so she just knows how to work around those situations. Of course, like when we get to Ursley, it's when it's like, what was it, like, not flooding, but it was heavy rain one
Oh
time.
yeah, no, it was flooding.
It was
flooding.
yeah.
The river did flood.
The river
Yeah,
did
no,
flood.
it did flood
The
actually.
fucking river, man.
Yeah.
The
No,
bane
it's
of
so
you and
funny.
Matt's existence is that fucking river.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like I look back at all the sets that we did as Moth the Flame, and I just look back at all the sets that we did as a group and stuff. And I talked to Roxy about this a lot. Roxy is a friend of our other podcast, and she came up through the ranks with us together. My first film was her first film, essentially, and it's been amazing seeing how her career has grown.
She's killing it.
And she's amazing. She's an amazing makeup artist, and her career is taking off. And she's been on the pit. She's been on some bigger stuff that we're not allowed to say. She's done a lot of cool stuff. And I often will have these little moments because she's also my roommate. But I'll be like, Roxy, remember when ... And it'll be a lot of these. I'm so glad that is how we trained, because we were just thrown into the worst situations,
Trial by fire. Yeah.
trial by fire, but we were allowed to touch and do things that maybe being here, we would have had to waited many years before we were even allowed
In
to
Los
do
Angeles?
some of that
Of
stuff.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. Yeah, and Roxy was like, yeah, I talk to people here and I tell them that I got to department head these things and like work with these prosthetics. And they're like, what?
Ugh.
You don't get to do that until you're at this career level
Yeah.
type thing. And I'm just, it's same thing. The same thing from an AD standpoint. All the things that we've had to deal with because of the lack of resources and budgets and stuff like that. You just get thrown into these situations that are, I guess now I'm realizing, toxic relationships and abnormal work environments.
Yeah.
But now I'm so glad because now I'm coming back and it's, this is the kind of work environment I should be having. It's now this is this nice stable relationship, what it feels like, because I'm so used to the toxic relationship.
Yeah. Shut up. We got to work. Run. Go now. Fast. Move. 10
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
But now I know how to deal with all of that.
Yeah. But it gets you to the point where you've trained so hard and so fast for so long that
Yeah.
now that y'all are, even Roxy, get to work on those sets, those bigger sets, more like structured, more professional sets. It's almost like you guys can get used to that, but it is, I would imagine, very jarring after
It's jarring, and then
going through all that shit.
a big thing too that Rossi has said that we both had to learn how to slow down. That's something we've both had to learn. Like, how do we, okay, now instead of 20 minutes to do this, we have 3 hours to do the same job we used to have only 20
Oh, I
minutes
see.
to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Your work ethic hasn't changed, by the way. You still work fast. You still power through. So you have structure, but you still are like, no, I gotta get so much done.
Yeah. But I think now what I'm learning is now I have the time to really focus on details, and that is what separates good from great, right? Is details.
Sure.
And that's the part that I definitely have been working on, is learning how to really think about details and to sit on something. I'm very bad at sitting on something. I just want things to be done. Live and learn.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I also know too that there is I don't want to say impatience is the wrong word, but
It
you
is.
proceed with haste. No, you are
I'm a very
patient
impatient
enough,
person.
but you proceed
I'm
with
aware.
haste when you want to get shit done. because once it's in front of you, you're just gonna never not work on it. You know what I mean? Whereas for me, I'm like, dog, can I have 2 hours to play like Call of Duty or some shit? I want some me time. But but I learn a lot from you, especially like my work ethic has completely changed. Honestly, because of you, actually, now that I think about it, for the good too, because it helped me be way more organized. Like previously, I say this before on the podcast so many times, but my previous career was retail. And retail was like a different beast all in itself with a lot of similarities, but my work ethic was completely fucking different. I was a lazy piece of shit during retail. I was so beyond lazy, and I was careful, but I was very lazy, and I was procrastinate all the time. Whereas meeting Christina, working with her, procrastination is just not. I wish I procrastinate more. I just keep working. That's the problem.
But you were in it was a different time too. I think
Sure.
I think you have purpose, right? When you don't have purpose,
Yeah.
it's hard to find a motivation. But when
Yeah.
you find your purpose and you love what you do,
I'm just locked in. Yeah.
then it's easier to want to be motivated.
Yeah.
But even that, sometimes there will be days when you're not motivated, and it's
Oh,
just
it's soul
gotta
crushing. Yeah.
you just sometimes just gotta be like, fuck it. I
Power
don't feel
through it.
like it, but I just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me in writing. Writing is a constant battle for me.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like I'm in between shoots. It's dog. You are doing PA stuff. You're doing art PA stuff. You're not doing set deck. Set deck is way more stress inducing than doing art PA. But then I would make that excuse for myself and be like, yeah, well, I want more rest. I'm tired. And I'm like, no, I gotta write a few pages. Sometimes what I do is, as like a consequence, if I miss pages, I would write double the amount of pages from the previous day. So
That's
like
nice.
so
I
if
like
I'm
that.
supposed to write 1 page, now I have to write 3 pages if I don't write today. Tomorrow I have to write 3 pages. So that's a thing all of my doing. David Lackey said, "Sup nerds. What's up, dude? What's happening? What's happening,
What
Dave?"
up, Lackey? Saw that dude not too long ago too.
Speaking of OG, David Lackey is a definite OG
He's
for
an
you.
OG. He's a way OG. David Lackey is one of the first people I met when I moved to Austin, Texas. He's one of the first people that I worked with when I was in Austin, Texas.
Do you see
What
what
did he
David just
say?
wrote? Christine,
I
when you're
can't
moving back to Austin,
I know.
listen,
Austin.
Christine only talks about how she loves Austin and misses
I
Austin.
know.
The
I love
the last episode we were all together. I don't know if you
I
watched it,
know.
David, but like all she talked about was how shitty LA was and how she misses Austin so much. Which
I'm
I
trying to
understand though,
not.
because what people don't get is that living in LA is
Soul crushing.
stress inducing, soul crushing, like anxiety ridden. You're stuck in
Anxiety
traffic.
ridden.
You're just stuck in
Anxiety
traffic.
ridden.
That's all you were doing.
Yeah, you're just in traffic.
Yeah. Anywhere you go, just know it's going to take an hour.
You're just in traffic, no matter what. You just had to find ways to deal with that. So I listen to podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, that's how you deal with it. Also, I hate to cut it short, but it is 10:30, so we have to jump off to start our next podcast. Who sadly didn't know he was supposed to be on a podcast, but we're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be fun. Sorry to call you out, but we're gonna see how this goes. But it's really
right.
with a really cool brand called Onset Headsets, somebody that I've been following for a while. So yeah, so stay tuned, and we're gonna hop off and go right back on.
We're going to come right back, y'all. So definitely stay tuned.